Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am your co-host in the East Coast, Chris Atallah, and alongside me, there is no one better than my co-presenter, Hessin Kemal. Hessin, how are you doing today?
I'm good, how are you?
Very good, thank you.
Good. Ladies and gentlemen, we just witnessed the UEFA Super Cup. It went all the way to penalties. Liverpool coming out on top, 5-4 in those. The game itself ended 2-2. A goal in the first half for Chelsea. A response in the beginning of the second half for Liverpool, and then in about 5 minutes, 2 goals in the first period of extra time. Mane and a penalty by Jorginho after Tammy Abraham was brought down by Adrian. We'll talk about all those specificities in a minute, but now we'll talk about the starting lineups and how we thought the game began.
As I said in the previous video, I said I expected a better response from Chelsea after getting hammered 4-0 at Old Trafford, and a response is what we got. I felt they were in control of the game, especially in the first half. They were leading, and bar a lapse of concentration, they were in the game. They were gonna win the Super Cup, and I feel like the lineup was much better than what they had at United. They had Kante back in the lineup, Pulisic, boy wonder that they signed from Dortmund. He was back in the lineup, and they were just a much better team. There was cohesion. They were moving the ball better. Kante, being in the midfield, was able to liberate Kovacic and Jorginho, allowing them to play up forward passes. Jorginho was spectacular with his passing today. And I feel like all in all, the disappointing performances were Emerson, who was just abhorrent with his crossing today. But all in all, I feel like this is a confidence booster to Chelsea. Yes, they did lose on penalties, but this is a morale boosting for Chelsea. I expect to see much better performances today. How do you think about Liverpool?
Liverpool started, the lineup was very weird to me. They started with Bobby on the bench as well as Trent, beginning with Ox on the left, who hasn't played a game in 16 months, started in a game in 16 months. It was very evident that he was lacking in fitness. I honestly did not see him touch the ball in the entirety of the first half. I really did not see anything from him. Milner on the left side was very weak. He was getting run over. That's why they switched and brought in Trent Alexander and brought in Bobby. And like we said, maybe it was a lapse of concentration by Chelsea, but it also maybe was that change, that switch in personnel that caused the game to get tied and then move on from there. Yeah, I thought the defensive side of Liverpool were weak today. Like we said, they only played with 2 in attack because the Ox was not there. But as the game progressed, they played a bit better, had a bit more chances. Honestly, a really good save by Kepa kept them from winning the game in regulation. Van Dijk had a clear opportunity that was pushed onto the bar by Kepa. But as overall, like you said, Chelsea was very unlucky to lose this game in penalties. And yeah, as a whole, it was a very entertaining game, I think.
Also, today marked the first time in history in a UEFA game where there was a woman referee.
Yeah.
And she also had 2 lines women, and I felt they had a very good game, honestly. The point of controversy was that penalty, but in my opinion, it was a penalty. I know that's controversial, but maybe we need some controversy in this show.
Yeah.
But I felt it was a penalty.
No, yeah, I honestly was really impressed by Stéphanie Frappard from France. She was the referee. I saw her during the Women's World Cup during the summer, at the beginning of the summer, and I was really impressed by her. And today was really impressive. The pressure was there. The whole world was watching, and I think most of the calls were pretty good. The cards didn't come out as fast. There was only 2 yellow cards in regulation, and they both came in the last 10 minutes. But as a whole, it was pretty good. The controversy comes at the penalty in extra time. I and Chris as well thought it was a penalty. Yes, Adrian barely touched Tammy Abraham, but Tammy Abraham kicked the ball away from Adrian, and at that point, he touched him. Very lightly, but he touched him. Personally, if Chelsea was my team, if Chelsea was Barca, if Chelsea was United, we would have wanted that to be a penalty. Some people on Twitter were yelling and screaming at me, saying that it was only called a penalty because, VAR didn't switch it because they didn't want to humiliate her. I don't think that has anything to do with it, and it puts along so many conspiracy theories that the VAR referees were told by the UEFA that pre-game that if the referee makes a call, you don't want to switch it. I don't think that's in it. I think the lineswomen were really good. A bunch of goals were called offside because they were rightly offside. And I think as a whole, it was a very good UEFA Super Cup. I enjoyed it from Turkey, and I think Chris as well.
Of course I did.
Anyway, we'll see you later this week. We'll talk about the Bundesliga. We'll talk about La Liga, which both are starting. We'll talk about the Premier League, which is going to kick off game week 2. If you like the video, please hit the thumbs up button. If you enjoy our content and enjoyed episode 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, just click the subscribe button. Leave any comments with your thoughts, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace out.